Coming up in our program today, how Korea's growing economy is creating opportunities for English teachers. And we find out how a New Zealand artist is getting a strong message across to others. Hello everyone and welcome to Asia Downunder. What do Kiwis really think of Asian drivers? Yingli looks at the perceptions and whether they're supported by facts in New Zealand.
Only 7% of crashes in New Zealand are by Asian drivers, despite the Asian population being a bigger 10%. But the statistics don't reflect public opinion.
Maybe they don't know the left from the right. Maybe their judgment isn't very good, especially for backing.
Yeah, I've had a few incidents where some have actually hit the back of me, and I guess it was just not paying attention, maybe texting or something, I don't know.
Well, it's usually the backing out of a parking place.
We asked New Zealand Police why the perception exists and if there's any evidence to back it up.
I think there's some evidence to suggest that Asians are not very good judges of distance and speed, but I don't think that's got anything to do with being Asian. I think that's got to do more with lack of experience as drivers. I don't think bad driving's got anything to do with ethnicity. I think it's got much more to do with attitude. So young males, young females tend to be worse drivers than, say, older people. I think if Asians want to be good drivers, then the first thing they've got to do is make sure they get good training when they go and do their driver's license. Make sure they go to a professional driving instructor and learn how to drive properly.
Driving instructor Harold Leeuwenberg runs A1 Driving School, responsible for turning hundreds of Kiwis into better drivers. So he should know who the bad drivers are. A third of his students are Asian.
Oops, sorry, almost crashed.
I think Asian drivers are probably just as normal as any other drivers. Some will be worse, some will be better. I think it's more the age group that makes it harder. But in general, I think all drivers are the same. But again, it depends a lot on what people are used to and what they've seen in driving before, what experiences they've got. So I think the language can be really difficult. Sometimes it slows the teaching down if people don't understand English properly. But apart from that, I haven't come across any barriers in teaching Asian drivers, no.
So we know what Kiwis think of Asian drivers. But what do Asians think of Kiwi drivers? Canterbury academic Trish Leddy turns the tables with the International Driver Research Report.
Although there is a perception out there that Asian drivers are bad drivers, Asian drivers themselves felt equally that New Zealand drivers were just as bad. Asian drivers felt that New Zealand drivers were less courteous and impatient and often aggressive on the roads. And one of the major things that came through was our right-hand turn rule, which many nationalities struggled with.
The issue of Asian drivers is so prevalent in New Zealand that artist Kentaro is travelling the world disproving this stereotype through his latest art piece.
The parallel parking is art film where I am parking my car really well. People think that it's ironic because, it is the Asian guy, parking, the parallel parking beautifully. Of course, if I show this work in Japan, this kind of connotation doesn't really exist because everyone is an Asian driver.
So far, we've proved that a person's ability to drive isn't race-related. Or is it? We decided to put it to the test. We pitted ex-Shortland Street Asian actor Dan Singh against outrageous fortune Kiwi actor Kurt Torrance to see who the better driver is.
The stereotype, are Asians good drivers? I think Asians are kind of as good a driver as anyone else. I think when you see someone drive badly and they happen to be Asian, your first thing is, oh, Asian drivers, even I do it. But I think they've come from a harder training ground. If you've ever driven in like Hong Kong or Thailand, you have to be pretty good to stay alive there.
Well, I think Asian drivers are the same as any other ethnicity, we all suffer the same short-sighting or misgivings or, confusion at times when someone's tooting at you from behind,
the average speed, I believe, overseas is 30-40 k's, where we do 100 k's sometimes plus on our open roads. So they've got to learn our driving conditions and learning a little bit more confidence in the car, how to drive the cars a little bit quicker and how to adapt to our driving. So I think if they had the same opportunities as we do, there's no reason why they should be any worse or any better. It's just I'd come down to their training, I'd say.
Although our racing instructor deemed Kirk the better driver, we can safely finish knowing he won based on age and experience, not race.